Hold that pose long enough and someone might just come along and paint you.
Any artist who'd see fit to paint me needs their eyes tested.
What can you tell me about Almeidrea?
Not as much as you'd probably wish. I only ended up crossing paths with her a handful of times, after I was chosen to be a lord on Lenegis.
Ah, right. I almost forgot about Lenegis. How much do you think they know about what's been going on down here?
It's safe to assume they know everything, though I know not why they choose to remain uninvolved. Perhaps they see what's been happening as just part of the ongoing crown contest.
Even what Almeidrea did? Has it really reached the point where her actions are seen as normal?
Not to my knowledge, no. At its core, the crown contest is a competition to see who can amass the most astral energy. And to amass such energy, slaves are needed to collect it from. It's therefore against the Lord's interest to kill them.
So then why would Almeidrea do something like that?
We must remember that time is running out in the crown contest. Perhaps her hand was forced, so to speak. It is a way to accrue astral energy faster and in larger quantities than through slave labor. Doing so kills off that labor force, obviously, but it is a means to an end nonetheless. No one could have foreseen that something like the Hollowing would arise back when the contest was first conceived.
Is becoming the Sovereign of Rena really that important to the Lords?
Of course. It's the greatest prize one can attain in their eyes. In that respect, at least, I'm really not that surprised that Almeidrea resorted to what she did, as utterly despicable as it is.
It's reassuring to hear you feel the same way I do.
I worry that the only reason I never did anything similar in Menancia was due to my lack of ambition.
If you didn't want to be reminded of your past, you could have just plugged your ears.
You think too highly of me. I'm afraid I must respectfully disagree. I'm not nearly as virtuous of a person as you might wish to believe.
If that's so, would you have been so shaken up when Kisara lost her brother? Why else would you turn your back on your own kind and choose to fight for Miguel's dream? Aren't we just Dahnans?
A curious choice of words. Did what you see in Mahag Saar hit you that hard?
What Deadheim did to that city, he didn't liberate anyone. Anyone who refused to follow him was an enemy in his eyes. 300 years of Renan rule taught him nothing.
What I have come to understand is that the conflict extends beyond Dahnan versus Renan. There is an internal quarrel as well. I mean to bring about a true, lasting coexistence in Menancia. But there are more walls we must topple first.
And you don't think you can pull it off?
Well, you seem to think you can, at least.
Does that make us enemies?
Insofar as an exchange of swordplay, no, it doesn't.
Not good enough for you?
Are you really... Forgive me. I will continue to fight by your side a while longer. That much I have decided.
You don't look so good. Are you all right?
The floor. It keeps moving. How can you stand it? How can you even stand?
I'm not the best person to ask about discomfort. I can't feel pain, remember?
I still can't believe what happened in Niez. Even now. As a lord, my expectations for Almeidrea were already pretty low. But the way she treated human lives like they're mere playthings.
Yeah. And it wasn't as if the situation in Niez was improving much to begin with.
You mean Deadheim?
The whole reason I started fighting back was because of my anger at the atrocities of Renan rule. Back then, all I had to worry about was fighting the Renans for the sake of the Danans. But then I met Shion and the people of Menancia, and things became a lot more complicated. It's even messier now that we have to worry about Danans like Deadheim.
It used to be that the Danans were the ones in the right, and the Renans were the ones in the wrong. Though, maybe that was just a biased perspective from being on the side of the oppressed.
Exactly. I'll never tolerate the Renans ruling over us. But nothing ever ends up being as black and white as you'd expect it to be either. That's clear to me now.
That said, even putting aside bad apples like Deadheim for a moment, you may be able to free the Danan people, but that won't undo 300 years of oppression. It'll be hard for them to not give in to their resentment. I think maybe that's why I clung to our dream so hard back in Menancia.
Even if his motivations weren't pure, Dohalim has a good heart. He didn't sink to the depths Almeidrea did.
You don't understand. I'm saying that it goes deeper than that. This hierarchy we live in, it's not solely something the Renans invented. I remember a story Rinwell once told me. She said before the Renans invaded, we Danans had our own class system. We are the ones who divided ourselves. I saw it in Deadheim's eyes. He wanted to rule over others.
To hear Bayfon tell it, Deadheim wasn't always that way.
But as time went on, and he and the Darkwings fought the Renans, he eventually changed. I guess what I'm getting at is, if we defeat the Renans but just go back to the way things were before, was there even any point in fighting?
But that world isn't the one you want to create, right?
Maybe not. But to tell you the truth, these days I'm not so sure that dream is even possible.
You have your promise to Megal, though. Your home and the people of Menancia are depending on you.
I know. My brother. He truly believed in his dream of coexistence. And I suppose, even now, many people still do. And then, there's you.
Who, me?
You and Shion.
I'm not sure I follow.
Okay, then let me spell it out for you. How many other Renans and Danans do you know that get on as spectacularly as the two of you?
I don't know that I'd say spectacularly.
Well, I suppose it's really all a matter of how you look at it, isn't it?
I really don't see what you're getting.
I think I'm getting seasick again. Sorry. Can you just give me a wide berth for a few minutes?
Do you think Law is okay?
If you're worried, why don't you ask him yourself?
Yeah. I think maybe I should apologize to him too. I should apologize to all of you, really.
Us too?
Well, I was kinda lying to you all this whole time. I was blind to everything except my own revenge. I never even considered the struggles all of you might be facing.
We all have things we'd prefer to keep to ourselves, Rinwell. So what if you had something to hide? It doesn't undo the good that you've done, or the people that you've helped save along the way.
But that's not what I mean.
I know. You're talking about Almeidrea, right?
Yeah. I hate her, Alphen. I can't stop hating her. Even just thinking about her makes my head feel like it's going to explode. But it's not just her. I think about the way Law looked at me. I hated the Lord who killed my parents. And I hated the Renans I had to travel alongside. And yet, Cyslodia's Danans backstab each other like it's a normal way of life. And Mahag Saar has people like Deadheim. But then there are people like Law and Shion. It's all just too much. I don't know what to think anymore.
Law never said that you had to forgive Almeidrea. It's only natural you would hate your family's murderer. But
But what?
Law left home because of how much he hated his father. As a result of that, well, I think Law spent a lot of time thinking about how they never got to make things right. And if I had to guess, killing Ganabel didn't make any of those feelings go away. Law let revenge fuel him, and I think now he's afraid you'll do something you'll regret.
Afraid?
Whatever happens to Almeidrea when this is all over is up to you. I'll respect whatever choice you make. Just think it over carefully for me, okay? You still have time.
Okay. Thanks, Alphen. Say, back then, after the fight, I think I really made Xion mad. I don't know, though. Maybe it just looked that way. But I guess I just can't seem to understand how she feels. Do you know why she gets like that?
Xion's... She can be a tough nut to crack. She doesn't really talk a whole lot about herself.
It's just what she said about hate being a source of strength. Where did that come from? I wonder how it feels, not being able to hold another person's hand.
I took a look around inside the ship just in case, but I didn't find anything that looked like it might be suspicious.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
You know, it wasn't until I left Calaglia that I finally realized just how big the world is.
When we tore down the wall in Calaglia, and I could finally see the horizon in the far-off distance, I had the exact same thought.
Yeah, somehow the sea is different though. I'm not sure just how to put it. It's almost as if it just goes on forever. I bet my old man would have been blown away by this view.
Yeah.
Ever since he died, I've been thinking about what it was that he was really trying to say to me at the end. I keep going over his words again and again. And heck, maybe I'm just overthinking it all. But still, sometimes I wonder if it could have turned out differently. If there was something I could have done. But no matter how much I play it back, I'm still no closer to finding any answers. And then there's everything with Rinwell. I stopped her from killing Almeidrea. Was that really the right thing to do? Or did I just end up making things harder for her? I feel like such a screw-up.
You're not the only one. I keep asking myself what Zephyr would have done had he been here. Like I think, how would Zephyr have handled Rinwell?
Yeah, I think he definitely would have stopped her. No doubt about it.
And that's exactly what you did, Law. I think he'd be really proud of you.
Alphen.
Zephyr's not the worst yardstick to measure ourselves against. Let's both do our best to make him proud.
Sounds like a deal. Thanks, Alphen.
Lean much further, you'll go overboard. Keeping an eye out for Almeidrea's ship?
I'm looking at the ocean.
The ocean?
Yeah. The waves. They help me think. This world is filled with natural wonders. The icy air and white peaks of Cyslodia. The lush green glades of Menancia. The harsh wastes of Calaglia. But Menancia has its Lake of Death, and Nias its ruins. And they wouldn't be there if it weren't for that contest.
Say we actually manage to put a stop to the crown contest for good. What do you think will happen between the Danans and the Renans then?
You first.
Well, I want to believe that the coexistence we saw in Menancia can happen elsewhere, too. It's insane for all of us to keep fighting. If Menancia can do it, so can everyone else.
Yeah, I think that would be good too. A world where everyone can get along. At least, that's what I've come to believe.
You sure have changed.
I can't lie to you. Since I was young, I've looked down on the Danans too. But I've seen a lot. And I see things differently now. I've seen so many ugly and terrible things in this world. And yet, they didn't come from just the Danans. And the good things too. They didn't come from just the Renans. Kindness and cruelty exist on both sides. A person's race doesn't factor into it. So, I guess you're right after all, Alphen. I have changed. You know, I've never actually touched another person like this.
Shionne.
Ever since I was on Lenegis, I've always been alone. Even after I came to Dana. Always.
And now?
Do you still not remember your past?
No. Sometimes it feels like I can almost remember. But then this mask stops me.
The mask keeps you from remembering why you have the mask in the first place. It's a little ironic, isn't it?
A little. Well, it won't be long now before you're rid of those thorns, you know? Only 2 lords remain. And once you have their master course, you'll be able to create the Renis Alma, right? Then you can... Shionne?
Sorry, it's nothing. Promise. You're right, though. It'll all be over soon. I never could have made it this far on my own. I have everyone to thank for that. Including... especially you, Alphen.
Don't worry about it. We're friends, after all.
Yeah, we are.
Wonder how much longer it's going to be before we catch up to Almeidrea. I'll ask Mahavar.
Look who's up! Good timing. We're closing in on her stern as we speak.
That's the ship? She's huge. Law, go gather the others, will you? Think you'll be able to flank them without getting spotted?
Yeah, with the fog as our ally, I think I might just pull it off. Long as we ain't too noisy, we should be okay.
What'll you do if they catch on to us?
Not much I can do. Ship that size, they'll probably blow us to bits before we ready cannons.
Persistent little things. Evidently, I shouldn't have spared the wretched vermin. Hungry already, my dear? Worry not, for you shall have plenty to feast upon shortly.
Perfect. You managed to get us right up beside them.
I'll stay with the ship so we can leave as soon as you're done.
Good. Then let's find Almadria.
Shion, I want to thank you.
What brought this on?
What you said.
You're mine! Oh, you're finished!
Wait, sleep now.
I'm going in! Bring him, General!
I'm on it! I'm ready!
I'm on it! Engage! Too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Double Demon Fang! Blow away!
Now you see what I can do!
Not on my watch.
Double Demon Fang!
This one's mine. Lightning condemned.
I'm on it! Talon Hurricane!
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
I won't forgive you.
Demon Fang! For my lord! Double Demon Fang! You picked the wrong fight!
Thunderblade!
Double Demon Support!
Do it! I'll punch that gun out of your hands!
In an instant! Impact Claw!
Dance in the wind! It's over!
Its armor's too strong!
Split it open!
Be my guest! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Barely a blip on our radar.
Got it! went well.
Are you okay? You're not too tired, are you?
Nope, I'm fine. Let's keep moving. Hi, Hoodle!
Demon Fang! Demon Fang!
You think that shield will save you?
I see one, eh? Double Demon Fang!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah! And the pummel is to me! Double Demon Fang!
It's over.
An astral creature?
That's my cue.
Shut him down!
Double Demon Fang!
Another one! I'm out of ammo. More where that came from. I'm all stuffed up. Confiscating.
Double Demon Fang!
Lightning orb. More where that came from. Lightning condemned. I never miss. I'm ready. Searing flame.
No further!
I'm all stuffed up. Mega ray. I'm on far enough.
We're not finished!
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
Glacial spear.
It's
Here's
time!
evil.
Right! Burn it! Double Demon Fang!
Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
I wonder if we can make new weapons with this. Go no further!
Demon Fang!
Thunderblade!
Double Demon!
Radiant
Use this! Double Demon Fang! I won't show you any mercy!
Glacial spear!
Double Demon Fang!
Orb for the sun! Freeze Lancer! Blah blah blah!
I'm not done!
Freeze Lancer!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here's a healing arm!
Double Demon Fang!
First aid!
Strike! Storm!
Lightning orb!
won't save you!
Now!
My shield!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
Looks like we won. What's this thing?
Let's dispose of this trash. You'll have no mercy. I'll be saving Lightning condemned. Radiant Thunder. I'm all stuffed up. Annihilation. Raging Cascade.
Double Demon Fang!
What you through? This one's mine. Lightning condemned.
In a bind?
First aid. Hey, that. Searing flame. Far enough. Here's a healing arc. Take first aid.
I owe you one.
Now you see what I can do. Roll now!
Searing flame. I'll be saving this one. Watch them sweep. Thunder lightning. Do it.
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
With this, I can become even stronger.
Never seen anything like it.
It's an authentication key. They're quite common.
Maybe where you're from. This is new to me.
It might go in an elevator somewhere. We should test it out.
Storm! Double Demon Fang!
Mega Ray!
First strike!
Ha!
Eat this! Here I
I
come!
only get Searing Flame!
Like
Reload!
it!
These ones don't have rings around us!
Double Demon Fang! First Storm!
Here, let me help!
Blast!
First
Take
aid!
this!
Lightning Condemn! Thunder Lightning! Downfall!
Talon Storm!
Easy and snaring to me.
Now!
Yeah! And pummeling to me! Take this!
I'm all stopped up! Seal! Do it! I'll be saving this one! Lightning!
First
Downfall!
strike!
Where are you going? Lightning Orb!
Ruin! This one's all mine! Not today!
Here's a healing art!
I'm on it!
I'll
work you through!
Do it! Not on my watch! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! I can feel my power growing!
This is...
I remember seeing instruments just like this back in Estaluva Forest.
Let's dispose of the trash.
I see one, eh?
Here! You're gone! Lightning Orb! Raging Lightning!
It's all I can carve to down and got you now! You're finished! Got fired!
Let a marksman!
In an instant! Impact block!
I'm all stopped up!
Double Demon Fang! Here I come!
Searing Flame! Reload!
Take this!
Searing
Double
Flame!
Demon
Reload!
Fang!
I'm out!
It's on!
Here's a healing art! First aid! I'm ready!
Shattering the pieces! Attack time!
Ready! Watch it!
Come back, will ya?
Lightning Orb! Get into the
Double Demon
wind!
Fang!
Searing Flame!
Can't get out of this!
Reload! I'm out! Back into the flame! Lightning Orb! Lightning Condemn! Thunder Blade!
I'll finish you here and now!
Mega Ray!
I'm on! I'll teach you right! You're mine! It's over! Small! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! These bad guys really don't mess around.
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out.
Now you'll learn!
Annihilation!
Double Demon Fang!
Mega Ray! Raging Cascade!
River!
You astral energy!
Say no more.
Double Demon Fang!
That does it!
Pesky airborne scoundrel.
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
An astral arts?
That's my cue. Here's the evil.
Shut him down.
That one's mine.
I'm on it!
Can't move! There! Try harder!
Here's a healing art. First aid.
Now or never.
Thunder shield. Where are you going?
Armor won't save you!
Here goes. Here's a healing art. Shield.
This one's all mine!
Where's the stockpile? Death
Come
Flame.
on! Eat dirt!
Reload. Where that came from. Lightning flame.
Double Demon Fang!
I'm out saving
Take
this one.
this!
Annihilation. Lightning orb. Into the shadows. More where that came from. Here, let me help. I'll stop its charge. Thanks,
Try
Kisara.
harder! Talon Storm!
Don't get in my way.
Double Demon Fang!
Not in your dreams.
I'm on it! Talon Storm!
Glacial Spear. Whoa, you alright?
Yeah, I'll be okay.
Lightning condemned! Thunderblade! Recover! Here's a hit the marksman hand.
Double demon fang!
Light Astrolite! Dance in the wind! Here, let me help. I'm on. Feel! I'll be saving this one. Take it. Here goes. Here, let me help. Chinese
Double demon fang!
You require a hand.
Burn!
Lightning! Lightning condemned!
Double demon fang! Small! Look sharp! Lightning tiger blade!
Hey, anyone else think this might be a touch too dangerous?
Ridwell's right. We should fall back to regroup and try again later. What's this thing? Hey, didn't we find a recipe that...
Yeah, we can use this for it.
Out of our way!
I can carve through water! My
Hey, that-
shield?
Ready!
Talon Hard! We're not finished!
Lightning condemned! I'll take my revenge on you!
Felt fine not too long ago.
Double demon fang!
Light Astrolite!
Double demon fang!
I really owe you one.
I'll run you through!
Light Astrolite! In the wind! In here! Here's a healing
Double demon fang! Locked and loaded!
I'm reaching my limit, you guys.
Damn. Guess we better be extra careful.
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out.
Bring him down! Double demon fang!
Here's evil! I'm the true gunslinger around here!
It's on!
Raging Cascade! Where are you going?
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Do it! Astral energy!
Say no more!
My concentration is dwindling. Perhaps I'm tired.
Finally, some open space again.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
Little help!
Double demon fang! Bring him down!
Steering flare! Here! Reload! I'll be saving this one! Gemini Aqua! More where that came from!
I'll end you! Try harder!
Glacial
I
Spear!
can carve
Pierce
through
evil!
armor! Double demon fang!
Lightning or raging cascade!
First strike!
An astral arts?
That's my cue!
Shut him down!
I'll be saving some out
Here I
armor
come.
back into the fray!
Double demon fang!
Eat this!
Howard Hurricane! You're mine! It's over! You're mine!
Eat this!
It's over! Double demon fang!
Freeze Lancer!
Looks like we got them all.
Right, here goes! Engaging! Double demon fang! Eat this! Howard Hurricane! Can't get out of this!
Raging cascade!
Burn! Double demon fang!
Dance in the wind!
Mission!
There! Go! Let them mark you!
Its armor's too strong.
Be my guest!
Sweet now! Gemini Aqua!
Double demon fang!
Talon Storm!
Double demon fang!
Lightning Orb! Ready on my watch! Where are you going? Do it to death! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
With this, I can become even stronger! Do you sense one of your friends, Noodle?
A barrier. That may indicate Almadria is near.
Then we've got to find a way to get through somehow.
Let's see if we can find something that'll release it.
What is that huge flower-looking thing up there? Is that the ship's engine?
Indubitably. As one might expect, large ships require large engines in order to sail.
And if we destroyed it?
We might well sink the ship. Who knows if we would be able to escape before that happens.
Almadria sure has been busy since the contest began.
This isn't Almadria's doing.
You mean she didn't build this?
The body, yes. However, my guess is that the engine comes from a starship.
A starship? As in one of those vessels used to go to and from Lenegis?
Correct. The technology employed on Lenegis and in starships is more advanced than anything in our daily lives. Almadria may be resourceful, but she could never produce an engine like this on her own.
You mean to tell me we've got even bigger enemies waiting for us up in the sky? Ugh, my head hurts just thinking about it.
Don't worry about that for now. Just focus on taking care of Almadria.
Get lost!
Bring him down! Double demon fang!
Glacial Spear! Pierce evil!
Smash you!
They really don't give up, do they?
Oh no!
Flame of Fury! Do it!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Dance in the wind! Radiant Pierce!
The enemy wields arts too.
We'll see about that.
A comfortable...
Little help!
Double Demon Fang! Hold my line! Try harder! Double Demon Fang! Not today!
Here's my
Double Demon Fang!
Now!
You'll learn! Double Demon Fang! No further! Double Demon Fang! We're not finished! Double Demon Fang!
Raging Cascade! Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Here's a healing art! Astral energy!
Thanks!
There's always room for improvement.
But a opponent like this should be easy.
Sleep now. Radiant Pierce!
First strike! Talon Hurricane! Not today!
This one's mine! Raging Cascade! I never miss! Sleep now.
Double Demon Fang!
Now you see what I can do.
I'll be saving this art shield! Glacial Spear! Not in your sleep!
It's too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Do it!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Block! I can feel my power growing! Got you now!
In a bind?
Double Demon Fang!
Freeze Lancer! More for the top pile!
First strike!
Double
Demon Fang! Try harder!
It's
on the
I'll split it open!
Be my guest!
Here's a healing art!
Astral Arts?
That's like you!
Shut him down!
Glacial Freeze Lancer! Dance in the
Double
wind!
Demon Fang!
Air thrust! First aid!
Ignite! Why you Double Demon Fang!
Thunderbolt! Freeze Lancer!
Talon Storm! Double Demon Fang!
I'm on a roll now! I'm also dance in the wind! Primed and
Double
ready!
Demon
Here!
Fang!
This one's mine!
Prepare to be seen.
Ready and set! I'm only getting
Now
started!
you see what I can do.
By the power of water!
I'll teach
Do
you
it! Raging Cascades! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble.
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
Got all the ingredients for that recipe now.
Great! I'll let you cook then.
Wait, what?
What's this then?
to me!
Hit now! It's weakest!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Dance in the wind! Sleep now!
Double Phoenix! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here's a healing arc!
Strike!
First aid! Lightning orb! Searing flame!
Take this! Double Demon Fang!
Lightning orb! Watch them dance in the wind!
Double Demon Fang!
Don't get in my way! Blah, blah, blah.
Double Demon Fang!
Sleep now! I'll cover you! Where that came from!
Double Demon Fang! Burn in hell!
Blah, blah, blah. Let me help!
Double Demon Fang!
I'll take it from here. Let's see how you handle this! Deus Roar! Dance in the wind! Here's a healing arch!
Double Demon Fang!
Raging Fury!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for! Get behind me!
Done! I'll leave it to you!
I'm out of ammo!
Now or never!
Skywatch!
I can carve through armor!
Annihilation! Better!
Solid Hurricane!
Do it!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Block!
Here's a healing arch!
Double Demon Fang!
First aid!
Leave the chargers to me!
Here!
Double Demon Fang!
Dance in the wind! Let me help! Hurricane! Astral energy!
Double Demon Fang!
Here, let me help!
I have no limits! Double Demon Fang!
Light astral dance in the
Sword
wind!
Rain out! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here, let me help!
Double Demon Fang!
Quick now!
River!
Astral energy!
Say no more.
Hey! Anyone else think this might be a touch too dangerous?
Lidwell's right. We should fall back to regroup and try again later.
Double Demon Fang!
Dance in the wind!
Try harder!
Heal!
Out of the way!
Here,
Double
let me
Demon
help,
Fang!
Kyle. First aid!
I really owe you one.
More without Here's a healing arch! First aid!
Double Demon Fang!
The
enemy wields our tool.
You'll soon see about that!
Take this! Double Demon Fang! River!
Astral energy!
Say no more.
Here's a healing arch! Light energy!
Double Demon Fang!
Seems about right to me.
No choice. Engaging!
Chronotop field!
No way!
Lightning raging cascade!
Fire support! I can carve through now! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Annihilation!
Too fast!
Stand back!
I'll trip it up. Double Demon Fang!
Now! Searing flame! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
Finally, some open space again.
There's no way you can complain about how this tastes.